Today's June 26th, and today's quote is entitled Pleasure and Wisdom. If you want wisdom, give up sense pleasure. If you want sense pleasure, stop looking for wisdom. One of the things that you'll notice is that when your emotions go up, generally, especially emotions towards material things, your intelligence goes down. And when your emotions are controlled, your intelligence, or we could use the word wisdom, it goes up. So if you want to enjoy the material world, you really don't need wisdom. Of course, there's a lot of so-called wisdom out there, which is being perpetuated as knowledge. But from our definition, it's not actually knowledge. Knowledge is meant to entangle you. So there's a lot of knowledge, knowledge is meant to disentangle you. There's a lot of knowledge which will entangle you. And if you don't need spiritual knowledge if you want to remain entangled, if you want to enjoy this world. Spiritual knowledge actually not only doesn't it help, but it actually interferes with your ability to enjoy it, neutralizes it. So this saying, it actually came, I read it somewhere else or something similar, written by, I believe, a Greek philosopher, and whose observation as a teacher was that wisdom is meant for self-realization, and therefore is meant for some tapasya, some austerity, some detachment. And if you want to live a sensual life, then wisdom is not really useful in the true sense of wisdom. So it's just interesting as what passes as wisdom today is knowledge which helps you become more enmeshed in the material world. And there are so many teachers who will help you become firmly enmeshed in the material world by helping you achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And pretty much, if you're not Krishna conscious, what you want to achieve, at least for most people, is going to keep you in the material world. And the whole program of Krishna consciousness is to reveal that entanglement through knowledge. And Prabhupada said that knowledge would inspire you to perform austerity. Austerity then will create some purity and intelligence to further help you understand how you're entangled, and thereby enabling you to detach, to disentangle more. So Prabhupada has revealed to us how we're entangled. He's revealed that the real story behind this world is we're trapped. And so-called teachers, in the name of freedom, which is only relative freedom, are keeping us trapped in this world by their so-called knowledge. And their so-called knowledge is enhancing our ability to enjoy this world, to have heightened sensual experience, or to be happy. And you might say, well, what's wrong with being happy? Being happy in a way that keeps you in the material world, there's something definitely wrong with that, because obviously the purpose of human life is to get out. So I was once thinking we should write a book, and the title of the book should be What's Really Going On Here. I was traveling from China to Poland, and I got hungover, and not hungover on alcohol, but hungover because I missed a flight, so I was in Paris. And I was kind of observing what's going on, and this idea came to me, we should have a book, What's Really Going On, because nobody could actually see what's really going on. And everyone is trapped in the material world. They don't realize it. They don't realize they're supposed to get out. And everything they're doing is further entangling them. So what's really going on here is that we're trapped, we're in a maze, we don't know how we got here, we don't know how to get out, we don't even know we should get out. And therefore, wisdom, it doesn't really work in material life. It doesn't help it. And so-called wisdom that people have, it's not wisdom, because it's causing them to remain entangled. So, Prabhupada said, student life, brahmachari life, celibacy is the basis of brahmacharya, of student life. That's what you're supposed to learn. And in modern education, we're learning anything, but we're learning everything and anything except celibacy. We're learning how that the purpose of life is to enjoy, and of course, sex is the center of enjoyment, and of course, our society is not restricting sex. So when a society doesn't restrict it, it just goes off the charts, and everybody is totally absorbed in it. Yesterday, we were at the mall, and I turned to the devotee and I said, you know, if you have no sex desire, you would never come to this mall, because the only thing, 90+% of what's in the mall is shoes, purses, clothes, and jewelry, and cosmetics. So what's the mall all about? So it's maximizing on this. So education means to control the senses, and knowledge means to control the senses. So if you don't want to control your senses, knowledge is not really what you want. And what you may call knowledge, if it's encouraging you to enjoy your senses, it's not knowledge. It is pure Maya in the guise of knowledge, which is even worse. At least if it's Maya and you know it, it's one thing. But if people don't know it and they take it as knowledge, that's a problem.